I have a cousin in New York that had no money but a house. She used to talk to the walls. Like, tell me, please.
Morning, Lily. What did you say?
I have a cousin in New York who had no money, but she had a house, and when something would go wrong, she would literally put her hands on the walls and go, plumbing, please work, plumbing, please work, plumbing, please work.
I love that.
She is kind of a witchy poo, and the plumbing then did work. So.
I've been reading Octavia Butler, an amazing sci-fi writer, and it really goes into like this species creating this like ship, an organic ship with their mind. It's really cool. If you ever want a good sci-fi author, just saying. Is this world a product of our thoughts? The chicken or the egg? All right, let me find some music. Anna will be like, Asiana, what are you saying on Sunday mornings? So how's everybody feeling? Anything want to be shared in the field, emotions, energy that might be alive for you right now? All ears, heart.
It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
I heard birds chirping outside my window as I was walking downstairs, and the fact that it was loud enough to hear, I was like, oh yes.
Did you see the first part?
I was walking downstairs, and even through my window of my bedroom, I could hear birds chirping. And it was just, hello, good morning. And I was like, spring.
Spring. You can hear the birds chirping.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, since people are sharing, this is on the opposite end. But when I leave here today, I have to go talk to a friend in New York who's fighting cancer and isn't going to make it. So I've taken all of the good juju.
Yes. Full spectrum. Thank you for sharing. Ooh, the creation and the dismantlement, right? Simultaneous.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah. A big one. And as we move into spring, right? Like what is being released as we move into this next iteration of life. Just feeling all of that, yeah. So this I'm going to call it a concept, but a feeling tone of like when to push and when to yield. When to push and when to yield. And I feel like it's relevant, not in so many ways right now, in all the ways right now, especially we're coming up on the equinox, spring, longer days. You know, the plants, the trees, you can see the little whispers of buds. Pushing, pausing. Okay, a little more warmth, a little more sun. Let me steep in the morning, and then push, right? And we can see it in a black hole. In our own personal lives, right? When to push and when to yield. So as we practice together today, I really want to highlight the power of the spanda. This is the spiral of creation. Yeah. It's repeating itself always in nature, everywhere. The Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio. So as we move into different shapes in this amazing signature of embodiment, let's kind of feel into the pulsing in, like when to kind of push and feel into like, here's a contact point. And we push into that and then go deeper inside, right? And then how can we kind of stir from that push to be in the evolutive right now? And then how can we just pause and yield and feel the evolutive now kind of metabolizing in our systems? So hopefully that language is working a little bit. Does that make some sense? Yeah. Happening all the time. So let's I'm gonna bring some straps around as you're settling into your bodies. Yeah. So we'll have kind of props to kind of support things to kind of push into and kind of push away from. That's cute. That was a cute little sneeze. The primordial seed sounds.
Good.
And then the pause and presence, right? The yielding right now. The past, the future, right? This breath. Did I do anything? So let's close the eyes down. If you're not already. Just settle in. And meet yourself where you are right now. And sense the feeling, tone, sound of you. And of the sound of your unique breath embodied signature that is the temple of your experience of embodiment on planet Earth, right here, right now. Can you open access to deep listening? That might even have you notice the sound of the commentary of thoughts of the mind start to settle down. As you bring your mind to this experience of embodiment, body, and feel your body resting on earth body, supporting your body, even the sense of your body and the earth is one body. The bones, the muscles, the breathing fascia, the pores of planet Earth, your body, Earth. And notice where you can receive even more support, yielding into the support of Earth. And perhaps that has you kind of lean back into yourselves even more and allowing this moment to come to you. Now bringing awareness to the subtle, powerful quality of your breath, breathing, which breathes whether you notice it or not. So as you notice your breath breathing in, through, and you feel your breath as you in the tone of your breath. Being breathed as you into that part of you that simply notices the ebb and flow of breath. Cradled in this experience of human. And as you connect to your heartbeat, the pulse of this experience of embodiment, feel the heartbeat of earth, and even touch that space between the heartbeat beyond human. Just touching there, this tone of peace. And then allow that peace to vibrate inside your breath, your bones, your muscles, your skin, as you float your palms together, heart center. And press your palms a little more deliberately as you lengthen the spine, a little push, squeeze. Keep the palms together, but then soften. Feel that spread, open to sensation. Now deepen your breath and lengthen your breath. Inhale, a little push, expanding. And then exhale, and a little yield, softening. And just continue that for about 3 more rounds of breath, acknowledging that you know the perfect kind of pressing and the perfect sort of pulse of yielding, because it's all right here. Good. And then just remain in this place. Let me rephrase that. Kind of meet that place just between the push and the yield. And from this place, let's tone together, infused with peace. The mantra is Om. Let this vibrate from the inside out. And this can be so gentle. These 3 rounds with the breath in. And open mouth, exhale. Inhale here for Tony. The palms together and just soften everything and feel. And then just kind of slide the palms to the chin, palms touching over the cheeks, and just a gentle glide up toward the forehead. And you receive your own touch through your hands and your face over the crown of the head, the back of the head, this deep care, side of the neck, the throat, the heart, this temple of embodiment, lower ribs, side body, the low back, sacrum, outer hips, and then pause at the belly here. Deep inhale, feel the belly expand. And then exhale as you slide your hands over your thighs, your knees, let the fingertips curl around your knees. And then slow exhale, just roll into a seated cat stretch rather. Chin toward throat, take your time, and then at the bottom of that, give it a little extra push. And then inhale, roll to the front edge of your sit bones. We're gonna spiral that open into a seated cow stretch. And at the top of that, give it a little push. And then notice the softening as you round into the back body, and just continue this for a few more rounds of breath. And really honor I just imagine the trees and the rings of the trees spiraling, connecting deep into the sun of the earth, that molten core, and deep into the sun and the sky, this light vibrating inside of you. And then when you're ready, you start to circle inside the pelvic bowl, and really noticing how that circles inside each vertebrae. It's really interesting to imagine each vertebrae like a little pelvic bowl as well as a little base of a skull. And we get to feel what it feels like to be alive. And at the same time, there's this releasing of these old systems, even these old versions of ourselves, as we press into this moment, yield in presence, and switch directions. And let's exhale, the fingers curl around the knees, a little rounding through back body, easy press. And then breathe in and feel the whole spine lengthen center as the biceps lift by your ears, fingertips. Reach, and then the left palm away from right, and we're just gonna fan the right ribs open here. It's not a very good mirror, so yeah, it's rights and lefts. And then kind of fold that right shoulder over your heart, and we're just gonna kind of round through center, fingertips just drag across the earth, and then take that to the other side. Spanda. And then as we exhale, we're gonna roll that left shoulder over the heart, and just continue this sort of half moon shape for a few rounds, and give it a little kind of press at the bottom and the top. Right. And then the next time you round center, to stay folded forward. A deep reverence in presence, and just kind of yield inside sensation. That tone of noticing peace. And just draw the belly button back, and that'll round you up vertebrae by vertebrae. Shoulder roll towards your ears, and we'll slide the hands under our knees, slide the knees together, and invite us to shift our shape here into a tabletop position. And let that draw you through a few rounds of cat-cow, or really just let the current of your life force energy just guide you here. So maybe it turns into a little stirring of the head, the hips. As we just kind of feel into this shape. Yeah. Good. And then breathe in and take it into a fairly traditional cow stretch. Yeah. And lengthen and then push a little bit beyond, just a little. Good. And then the exhale, scoop the tailbone nice and slow. And bring it into that cat shape. Press a little bit beyond edge. Oh. Take that one more round. Tuck the toes. Now lift the knees, press through to downward dog. Bend the right knee deep. Press the left heel, left hand. You can feel that contact with earth as you press into the earth and away from the earth, into you, deeper. And then switch it out nice and slow, and maybe there's a little watery pulse through the spine as that happens. And just kind of pulse the knees, the heels a few more rounds. Just kind of holding that light energetic of when to push, when to yield, and then all of the sensations between, and even a thought of the sensations beyond. Good. And then as we settle into a place of a bit more stillness, right? So earth body connecting into the kind of roots of bones, the bones of the earth. Watch the movement of your breath naturally circulate the movement of water, of the warmth. The cradle of space inside and around you. Relax the jaw. 3 breaths. Good, and then just heel toe your feet to the front of your mat. Take your time. So connected in presence that we're just in the natural rhythm of single moment, single activity. Feet can be approximately 2 fist distances as that feels comfortable for you. And then just whatever kind of arm placement, maybe framing the head, maybe fingertips to the earth. Let's keep a little bend to the knees for this kind of first forward fold of class. Notice kind of what can release inside gravity, and kind of what might be holding, and then maybe give it a little vibration, a little bounce, a little shake out. There's like a JG hum. Just to send the element of sound deep through the fibers. As the birds are toning through the ethers, yeah. Tone into the space inside. And eventually the stillness for 3 breaths and notice.
Good. And now release the fingertips to earth if they're not already. Slide your hands mid-shins and then straighten the elbows, pull pubic bone back for partway lift, or Kitasana. And then exhale, hands behind the calves. Lift the kneecaps as you peek toward the belly button, internal rotation of the thighs. Continue that movement for 3 more rounds of breath and really notice the internal spanda. There's this natural kind of pushing and yielding that just happens simultaneously as we start to feel into a little more spaciousness inside and around. Last one here. Good, now forward fold for a full breath. Bend the knees deep, anchor the big toes. Plug tailbone toward the earth, belly button back, arms head heavy as we round up vertebrae by vertebrae. Little shoulder roll back and down, and then sweep your biceps by ears, palms face the windows. A little bit of a sway side to side, maybe a little rocky motion through the feet, the knees, and then left fingertips, right wrist, fan the right wrist open. Inhale, belly lifts you through center, in center. Take it to the other side. Life, embodiment. Inhale, lift center. Exhale, cactus arms to interlace hands behind us. Knuckles toward the earth and then a little wiggle of the heart, the throat. You can also take opposite elbows. Bend the knees deep. Start to pull the pubic bone back as you sort of rest the belly toward the thighs. Pause here, lengthen crown to the windows, knuckles toward the back wall, and now straighten the knees, crown to earth, knuckles to the sky. Right, and as we're feeling into, through, around the space, maybe a little bit of movement. Porous bones. Relax your neck, jaw, and the soft tongue, pelvic floor. Good. One more breath. Nice. Now breathe in. This is slow, but we're going to bend the knees pretty deep and come to Kitasana, chair pose. So biceps by ears, inside space. Exhale a little deeper in the knees as you fan your hands, palms up, outer hips, and flower the sit bones open, belly to heart. Plug tailbone to earth, little pulse, biceps by ears. Belly button draws slightly back. Oh, now take that 2 more rounds. Spanda. Such a fun word. And last one here. Maybe a little deeper in the knees this time. Whoa. And this time straighten the knees, biceps by ears. Your palms touch. Prayer, belly to heart. And now exhale, slide through to prayer. Come all the way forward. Breathe in, hands mid-shins. Breathe out, forward fold. Bend the right knee so the sole of the foot faces the wall behind you, and then straighten the right leg. Now from here, press both legs evenly, little push, and then exhale, point the right toes, bend the left knee a little bit as you draw the right knee toward your chest or forehead. Now take that 2 more rounds. Push. Draw that in, yield, and last one. Good. And now this inhale, reach the right leg behind you. You can stay here, or maybe the hands wrap around the left shin. There's this hugging toward midline, so squeeze muscles to bone. And now gently step warrior 1. Biceps by ears. Lift.
Exhale, cactus arms. Bring the forearms together in front of you. Press the forearms, squeeze. And then keep the lower forearms pressing as you start to lift the elbows. And then feel that open up, heart shine cactus arms. And then if you want, you can take it into a little bow as you squeeze inside. And then open that up with squeezing outside. Let's take it one more round. Right inside life force energy. So cactus arms now to interlace hands behind you. Straighten the front knee and maybe lift the front toes. Be a little back bend. And then seal the front foot. Bend the knee, pull the left hip back. As you reach crown toward the windows, press through your back heel. So just about parallel to the earth here. Now inhale, little reach, press beyond yourselves. Stay here, but as you exhale, little squeeze inside. It's just done more with the spanda pulse. Try that one more time. And then come as deep into your humble warrior as what feels okay for you. Anchor the right big toe. And then maybe pulse the right knee ever so slightly. Let the head sway a little bit. Good. Now straighten the right knee. Slowly rise up to warrior one. Biceps by ears and straighten the left knee. Keep the left knee straight. Make a slow bow forward and then slide the hands palms up, outer hips. Now breathe in, slow, warrior one. Come all the way up, belly to heart, bend that front knee if possible. And then exhale, straighten the knee. Hands palms up, outer hips. Now stay here. Bring your left hand to your sacrum, right hand to the earth under your shoulder. You can use blocks. Micro bend the left knee and straighten the right elbow and lengthen your spine. Pull the pubic bone back. Inner belly scoops to the left and then let that spiral the whole spine open to the left. Now straighten the left arm to the sky, maybe. And then straighten the left knee. Lengthen. Ooh. Now micro bend the left knee and the elbows. Squeeze toward midline. And now straighten. Ooh. Lengthen the neck. Couple more breaths. And can you press toward your outer feet as you straighten everything? When to push and when to yield. Ooh. Good. One more little pulse. And then keep everything a little straight, lengthen, but then soften inside. Whoa. 3 breaths. There might be some little adjustments. Beautiful, everybody. Sweep the left fingertips behind you. Bend the left knee and slowly rise up to warrior one. Palms together. And then exhale, hands heart center as you pivot on the ball of the right foot. Ooh, you can stay here. Or bow forward, anchor the left foot, and lift the right leg straight behind you. Deep inhale, inner belly scoops a little left. Stay there, exhale, and then maybe pulse the knees and pulse space between each vertebrae. Ooh. Fingertips glide to the earth. Thank you, Mama. There's that support. Reach the right toes to the sky for a moment. Reach, reach, reach. And then from here, we are going to step through to Crescent Lunge. So right foot for just an inhale. Hands to prayer. Micro bend the back knee. Yeah, and then see if you can draw a little broadness to the sacrum or pulse. Little bow forward, plant your hands, and then step through to plank, but step your feet as wide as your mat. Lengthen your spine. Now bend the knees a tiny bit and see if you can find a little swing in the tailbone. And then straighten the knees and go ahead and lengthen here. Stay here and just with breath, little squeezing of the bones. Inhale. Stay there and then press a little beyond. 2 more. Press into the knuckles. And you can stay here or sway the heels to the right. Inhale, belly lifts you through center, heels to the left. Center. Bring your knees to the earth. Pull the pubic bone back and then draw your heart and chin to the earth. So the sit bones are lifted there, and then feel the belly inside. Press the tops of your feet. Slither through Bhujangasana, a wide leg Bhujangasana, or maybe it's upward dog. Soften, little shoulder shrug, little shoulders back and down, and maybe lift a little higher, earlobes back. 2 more breaths. Just kind of be with this in whatever way feels interesting to you. Good. And then press over the knees, slow. See if there's space to scoop the tailbone, little round through the back body, and then stack the hips over the knees. And now draw your chin and heart toward the earth. Maybe a tiny wag inside the pelvic bowl. And then soften and reveal breath. So we're in puppy dog pose here. And then when you're ready, just kind of come into sort of all fours, but the hands stay where they are. Bend the knees and then maybe kind of tilt the thighs toward the earth. The hips are still lifted. Spiral heart open and then draw the crown of your head and your toes toward each other. And then eventually we're just going to come to downward dog. So tuck the toes. Sit bones hover. Downward facing dog. Really appreciate just slowing down so as we can feel the ripening of sensation as we honor the ripening into spring. Dissolving of old tensions. Good, and let's breathe in. Feel the breath really carry that right leg to the sky, kind of inside and around. And take a moment, press beyond the leg, reach, stay there, but then feel that little squeeze toward bones inside. 1 more breath. And then breathe in. Start to draw the right knee towards your forehead, but then step it through to lunge. Step your left foot forward just enough to bring the heel to the earth. We'll rise up to warrior one. Marty, you're amazing. Cactus arms. And then exhale, squeeze the forearms together. Maybe a little bow into you, a little puff of the back body, and just flow that heart kriya. Honoring the cycle life. What an honor it is to be here. Our next breath in, let's reach biceps by ears. Lift up. Little cactus arms to interlace hands behind us. Straighten the front knee and maybe lift the front toes. Go back up. Seal the front foot. Bend that front knee and pull the right hip back. Inside there's a little lever in the pelvic bowl as you bow parallel to the earth. Pause here, feel into that spanda, right? So a little press beyond. Stay there though, squeeze inside. One more breath. And this one is deep into humble warrior. What's appropriate for you. Anchor the left big toe, and if there's space, little pulse of the left knee, really tuned to you. Good, and then straighten left knee, left heel to the earth, support slowly rising up. Warrior one. And then exhale, straighten that front knee. Slow bow forward, hands palms up, outer hips. So that movement in one more round. This time as we bow forward, we'll stay there and bring the right hand to our sacrum, left hand to the earth or a block under shoulder. Straighten the left knee, left elbow and left heel to the earth. Anchor the right big toe, and bend the right knee a little. Inner belly swoops to the right, and then watch that spiral, the inner belly of each vertebrae, between each vertebrae, and then reach the right arm to the sky. Good, now straighten the right knee. And then even let both elbows bend a little, shoulders might squeeze as you micro bend the front knee, and then lengthen. You got it. A few more breaths. And maybe the gaze draws toward the earth and then the sky. As you can pulse that even through your brain. And then let's kind of press, lengthen, stay there. But then soften inside a little bit. Ooh. One more breath. And then reach the right fingertips behind you. Cartwheel outer right hip. Bend the right knee so it's warrior one. Hands to prayer as you pivot on the ball of the back foot. Now you can stay here. Micro bend the knee. Or start to bow forward. Anchor the right foot. Maybe lift that left leg straight behind you. Maybe fingertips to the earth. Press a little beyond. Maybe micro bend the knees with a squeeze of the vertebrae together. Couple more rounds. Fingertips to earth. Open up that left hip. Reach the left toes to the sky. And then exhale, kind of reach the left leg behind you and gently step crescent lunge. Thanks. And biceps by ears. Hands to prayer. Micro bend the back knee. Let's hang out here for just a moment to broaden the sacrum. And a little slosh inside the pelvis there. Yeah. And then straighten the knee as you bow forward. Let's plant our hands. Step the back foot forward. Gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees deep. And then just round up or kind of rise up in whatever way feels appropriate for you. Offer it a little shoulder roll at the top as we do a sway from side to side. Maybe even lift one foot and then step it to the earth fingertips. Just kind of making contact inside textures. The tongue. Holy embodiments. Now inhale, biceps back here to lift. Bring it clear the field here. So exhale, bent knee, airplane arm. Take it a few rounds. Inhale, lift. Stay there, reach. And then exhale, slow, little bounce of the knees, let the fingers do a little shake wrists. Shoulders start to relax down. Hands, prayer, keep the bounce. Palms connect, but soft. Little sway. And then just settle into stillness and notice how life is movement. Life is movement. Life is movement. Now breathe in, draw the pelvic floor up a tiny bit, lift the heels. You can adjust this for you. Bring lower into a little squat. I always feel like in this motion, there's like, the pelvic bowl is like one of those levelers. And so, yeah, you're just gonna feel into the equilibrium right now. You're not gonna really stay here too long, that single moment, single awareness as you reach the arms out in front of you. Little bow forward to counterbalance, broaden sacrum, and now bring your sit bones to the earth. Scoop the tailbone, take your straps with you, and round down vertebrae by vertebrae. Just have the strap handy, set it down, step the heels, outer sit bones, so the feet are on the earth. And just rest the hands on your belly here and feel. And then let your body kind of yield into the support of earth. We are here now. And then breathing in, start to lift the right thigh to your outer right ribs and wrap the hands around the right shin. And then just straighten the left leg so the sole of the foot is reaching toward the window wall, but keep the heel of the left foot on the earth. Yeah. And then give yourself a little squeeze here. You got it. And then maybe a little bit of a sway of the right knee towards your armpit and then your heart. You might press the knee a little away from you and then a tiny circle there. And feel that circling through the inner right shoulder and the deep right ear canal. You might even let your head join in on that. Switch directions. Got it. And then hug the right knee a little closer in as you wrap the strap around the ball of the right foot. You're gonna reach the right leg straight up toward the ceiling. Take both ends of the strap as close to the foot as what's comfortable. And then bring the leg 90 degrees from your torso. Even if you're a little more flexy, keep it about 90 degrees. Yay. And then press through both legs. There's that push. Reach, reach, reach. Shoulders relaxed as much as possible. Now keep that kind of shape, but then just soften slightly and feel that right hip anchored toward the earth.
Now go inside and watch how the fibers start to rearrange with your breath. Yeah. Now take both ends of the strap in your right hand. You know, you can place the left hand on your hip or maybe like straight out from the shoulder there, however that supports you, as you start to draw the right leg over to the right. It might be nice to use your right elbow as a little kickstand. Only go so far as what's comfortable for you. Keep pressing through the left heel. Stay here. Now inhale, press beyond the legs. Let the heart open as well from the spine. Stay there, exhale, and now muscles squeeze bones. Spanda. 3 more breaths, just like that. Good. Now breathe in. Support of the strap, the breath to lift the right leg to the sky. Now left hand wraps around both ends of the strap. Right arm straight out from your shoulder, palm down. Pigeon toe the right foot. And then sickle the outer foot toward the ceiling. You know, you got it. Push the right hip down toward the windows and away from your ribs. Now inner belly is going to scoop a little as you draw the right leg just about 45 degrees over your front body. Yeah. And then push the hip down a little bit more, pushing the hip down. And then kind of yield there for a moment. And then if it feels okay, you can come a little deeper into this twist. Yeah. Keep the right shoulder blade on the earth and pulse inside Spanda. Supported by the cradle of Spanda. Got it. 3 more breaths, please. For me, it's interesting to do a little inner belly pulsing stir to the right. So it kind of stirs all around my whole pelvic bowl. And then I can take it through each vertebrae as well. So the whole body's connected. Right. 1 more breath. Got it. Now reach the right leg to the sky. Whew. Bend the knee a little to unhook the strap and then just set the strap aside. Both arms straight out from your shoulders, palms down. Press the right leg toward the ceiling. For a moment, footprint the ceiling with the sole of the foot and then footprint the window wall with the left foot. And then we're just going to point the right toes, reach beyond. Slowly start to lower the right leg and alternate between pointing and flexing. Feel kind of moist bones kind of reaching into their next evolute. Yeah. And then once the leg meets the earth, yield. Feel. Holy embodiment. And now we'll bend the left knee. Wrap the hands around that shin. And then plug the right sole toward the windows. Keep the right heel anchored there. And then maybe a little rocking motion of that left knee. Maybe little circles. Yeah. We'll squeeze. Good, and the mind gets to relax when it knows where we're going. A little predictability here as we hoop the strap around the sole of the left foot. We'll reach that leg up toward the sky. Both ends of the strap as close, or the hands around the strap as close to the foot as what's comfortable, and that kind of alleviates muscling through the shoulders. And the leg is just about 90 degrees from your torso. You got it. And then kind of press beyond the feet, almost like you're trying to pull the foot out from the strap, but the strap kind of keeps you anchored. And then just do a little bit of softening inside and feel the left hip come into alignment there. Ugh. You can even kind of think about the tailbone and the pubic bone drawing a little bit toward each other. I'm not really going to move, but yeah. Few breaths. The brain stem. Yeah. And then take both ends of the strap in the left hand. Right hand maybe on the right hip or maybe straight out from the right shoulder. And slowly draw that leg to the right. Or to the, you got it, Virgil, back to the left. And now that beautiful spondyl pulse, press a little beyond. And then feel that kind of slushing muscles squeezing moist bones. Oceanic. In motion, slow. And we really give ourselves the presence of witnessing evolution happening right now. Yeah. And we'll reach that leg up toward the sky. Switch hands around the strap. Left arm straight out from your shoulder, palm down here. Now, think about pigeon-toeing the left foot. Sickle the outer foot a little. And then push the hip down. It's kind of an inner movement. And then about 45 degrees or so over the front body, and then push. And then soften just a bit, a little squeeze inside. Ooh. And then just come into this as deep as feels appropriate for you. Both shoulder blades on the earth. Inner belly scoops to the left. Oh. The sheath of sensation. Good. 2 more breaths, please. The breath in lifts that leg to the sky. And the knee a little to unhook the strap and just set the strap aside. Arms straight out from the shoulders, and then put the ceiling there and press the right sole toward the windows. Start to point the left toes. And then just lower, oh so slowly alternate between pointing and flexing. As you lower the leg toward the earth, pressing beyond and inside, and eventually when earth and leg meet, yield, hands palms up.
Now going deep inside the wisdom of you, just ask yourself the question, is there any final movements that would have you feel complete, resolved in this moment? And feel free to go there now as we really tune to the wisdom of our internal vibration. Receiving the nourishment of your attention. Yeah, and if anybody wants a prop that they don't already have, gesture to me. Sorry, Amy. That might have you go right into Shavasana, the deep yielding. As that happens, I just encourage you to really soften that place behind your eyes, the tongue, central channelway, pelvic floor. We spiral in and we spiral out into the elements, out of the elements. Be received. Notice the muscles give up their command of holding the body. Feel that beautiful tone of peace in the dissolve. The majesty of shimmering sensations. Go so deep inside sensation that you go beyond sensation. The all-pervasive energy. Where is the mind? Bring it back. Allow yourself to notice the cradle of space all around you and inside of you. Noticing the tone, the sound of you. As you feel the touch of your breath kind of gliding in through as you. The warmth, the light of your awareness touching every part of you, this majesty of creation and dismantlement. A little connection inside gravity now. And the wave of life. The rivers, the oceans. Inside you as you sense now bones and muscles, skin. The weight of your body totally held, supported by earth body. For the next few rounds of breath, just sense you cohesive. Full spectrum. You might find it interesting to sense your quantum field, your auric field about an arm's distance all around you. Just noticing if there's any kind of little ripples or places that might want a little extra attention there. You can draw your field a little closer in, press it a little further out. It's cohesive inside the vibration of you. There's a color, texture of peace, shanti, peace, shanti, peace. Take your time with little movements. We get to interact with embodiment. Head might sway a little bit. Wow. Knees bent. Just make your way to one side. And as you come to a seated position, you're welcome to keep your eyes closed. It might feel nice to just rest a palm over your heart, other palm on the back of that hand. Just really honoring yourselves for showing up. It's a phenomenal experience of embodiment right here, right now, on planet Earth. let's tone together as we honor this time together. Collaboration and relationship together. Just get to magnetize this piece from the inside out. So one final Om here. Just take a nice deep breath in. Open mouth exhale. Breathe in here for Om. Stay. Thank you all so much for your presence. Yeah. Beautiful rest of your day. Thanks for being here. It's vibrating light. Yeah. Thank you, live streamers. Thank you, Lily.